Okay. Getting passed around is the report. It is not a quarterly report because the quarter was over June 30th, and that was way too long ago for me. So this report is actually as of today. So this is everything that we spent and bought as of today. All of the items, income so far this year is $45,171.39. And expenses to date are $45,177.74. So we're almost the same, income to expenses. However, we do have a couple areas in the 700 numbers. If you go to page 3, under our facilities, it's just a budget. It's just a budget issue. It's not an expense issue as far as that we don't have the money to spend to do our building and ground maintenance. But what we're at right now is we're over budget $249.02. And at the advisory committee, we discussed different line items on those 2 pages that we could move money from that's not being used. It hasn't been used all year, and it's probably not going to be used. We've moved basically 137 out of men's ministry, 220 out of Sunday school, 390 out of VBS. That's over, so we certainly don't need any more money for that. And 150 out of auto maintenance, and 187 is left over in the auto insurance that we got a discount, so we don't need any more of that this year. 200 out of fuel, and 71 leftover license and registration money that can be moved over. If we move all of that over to building and ground maintenance, that'll put us at a positive note of $558.67. And what we need to do that is, and that would give us $567 to finish the rest of the year to maintain the church and to do the projects around the church inside and out. And if nobody has any objections, that's what we're looking for a vote from the congregation for. Just also on this report, we have on hand in the checking account $11,171, and the Deacons Fund has $262, and the CD still is just gaining a little interest every month, so it's $10,299 for a total cash on hand of $21,732. After we take out the city water tide pooled account and the Bradley Emergency Fund, it leaves expendable funds of $12,680.
Can you clear up for one thing I get one more time?
Sure.
This money that you're proposing to move is money that we have 20 left over, so we don't need it where it is now.
Right. Right.
Like Diana said, it's just a budgeting item. It's not money that it's money that we budgeted at another place that we've either spent enough of it, we don't need any more of it, or like in the case of BBS, we only spent a certain amount of money. We have a bunch of money left over in the budget item, so we're done with BBS for the year, so we just move it somewhere else. It's just to balance the budget, just to make it so we're not like the government and spending out of our means. But I'm encouraged because there is $11,000 in the checking, and at the beginning of the year, I think there was $2,000 in the checking. This is with all of our bills being current, I believe.
There was
Fairly.
about 8,000 at the beginning.
Okay,
We're making some headway.
And you know what I'd like to discuss maybe the next the annual meeting is starting to put away some money every month into that CD. You know, maybe at 10% or 5% every month, and just start putting money away as we have money left over. Put money in that CD and start building that CD up, because I want to be able to. I'd like to be able to put the Bradley Fund in a separate CD by itself, so we can just throw it in there and start building up money that way. Put it in savings accounts, build up money. There's ways that we can help, you know, build the financial aspect of this, so we're not always, you know, scrimping by. But Diana's doing. I want to thank you, Diana, for doing such a fantastic job. She's doing such an outstanding job. So So I need a motion from the floor to move those discussed items from said place to the building maintenance place. Carol will move, will first that, and Russ Owen will second. Any discussion on that? Any discussion on what exactly we're doing? Everybody understands pretty clearly? It's not spending any money, it's just moving it over so we can balance it out.
So we can spend it.
So we can spend it, right? Just because there's other things that need to happen around the grounds for the end of the year. There's a few more months left at the end of the year, so we just want to be able to not be completely negative with those kind of things. All right, no discussion? In favor for the moving of the funds from the said areas to the building maintenance, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. That's a very good point, Bill. There is nothing in the Constitution that says how finances are to be spent and managed. The only thing in the Constitution it says is that the treasurer has to give an annual report or something like that, or a quarterly report or something like that. So what we had been doing at the beginning of the year is calling falling away, but I'm hoping that when September comes around, when we start kind of getting into the groove of things, is getting back into the Constitution Committee. Is we need to modify that in the Constitution. We need to be very clear as to what members can spend outside of the treasurer's or the board's permission. There's certain things, that people have access. Diana's the only one who has access to a check, but, we don't want somebody to go out and say, well, I think the church really needs this. So they go out and spend their own money, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh wait, now I need the church to pay me back, kind of thing. We want to kind of get away from that. We're hopefully in the near future, when we get the Constitution Committee going, or maybe we can modify the Constitution just in that portion to really clarify how we spend money. Because in the Constitution, you're right, there isn't anything very clear that says how we're supposed to spend money. So it's a very important thing that we need to get cleared up. So that is something that we are working on getting done. So the deacons and the advisory council are working on getting that nailed down.
On that same topic, the people that are chairmen of ministries, chairmen of committees, are basically responsible for the budget for their committee, and that information needs to go to the deacons so that we can put together a reasonable budget. And if you don't have any idea what you're going to do on your committee for the next year, what you're going to do, what you want to do with the committee, then you can't put together a budget, and we've got nothing to work with.
Yeah.
So we're just throwing numbers.
Yeah, one of the things that we're gonna try to do this year is get more diligent about requesting from the committees how much they think they're going to need for that year. A Sunshine Committee, how much do you think you're going to need that year? And then get us a number. And if we can do that, then that's going to get us more nailed down as to exactly where we're going to be budget-wise. So it's fine-tuning it. Diana's doing an outstanding job of kind of moving us into a financially more stable position. You probably wouldn't believe the kind of work that she's putting in doing this kind of stuff. So I really appreciate all the work that you're doing, because it's such a burden for me, and I know for the church, and I know it's a burden for you too. Well, good. She's a number girl, so. Ron?
But I can't remember the numbers in the Bible.
Did you want to say something? No? Okay. All right, any more discussion on that?